It doesn't matter who you are or where you live. Late night strolls always bring out the weird and unexplainable. This is Phobia Starter, and get ready for this tale. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, and nothing happened like this to me before. I'll start by saying, I'm not weak, but I'm not strong either. I would put myself around average. I have average height, average weight, and all around, I'm average. So, I never really thought about something like this ever happening. But when it does, it really catches you off guard. Now, I like to take late night strolls just to clear my mind of all the things that happen around me, and I enjoy them most of the time. I've heard about things like this happening, but never really thought it would happen to me. No one really thinks it'll happen to them until it does. I'll start around the time I decided to take the late night stroll to clear my mind about everything going on, work, friends, family, just some time alone, some peace and quiet. So I started off like normal. I grabbed my jacket, my keys, and headed out the door. And as I thought, the wind was a little chilly, but I've walked in colder, so I put my jacket on and started walking. No real goal or no real destination, just walking, just to clear my mind, think about all the things and how I'm going to deal with them. At this point, it was a routine, I would say. Every few days or so, I decided to go out and walk, clear my mind, and I really enjoy this time. I can just aimlessly walk. I don't know why I'll enjoy it. I don't really even know why I do it, but I just do, and it helps. It helps a lot, more than you think. If you live in a nice neighborhood, I would recommend it. But back to the story. This time, I walked more than I normally do, but I did have more I was thinking about. I usually walk around 20 to 30 minutes, then head back home. But this time I was out closer to 2 hours. I was just aimlessly walking. I had too much on my mind. I really enjoyed this walk. But I decided it was time to head back home. So I turned around and went back the way I came. For some reason, something felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it, but when I turned the corner, I seen someone on the other side of the road on the other sidewalk. Now, this is pretty uncommon. Usually, everyone in this neighborhood is asleep at this time. But I shrugged it off because, I couldn't be the only one that likes late night strolls. But something was off about this person. They were walking funny. They were walking sideways, looking up at the sky. Honestly, seeing this guy, I thought he was drunk. As soon as I saw him, I could tell there was something off about him, but I kept walking. And when I got close enough to realize what he was wearing, I thought it was odd. He was dressed really nicely. He had a suit, a tie, dress pants, dress shoes, and his hair was combed back. Now, when I saw this, I thought maybe he was coming from a wedding or something, a late night wedding party or something along those lines. I couldn't shake this feeling though. It felt like he was dangerous, but all he's doing is looking up in the sky. So I shrugged the feeling off and continued walking. But then when I got closer, he started to snap. You know. And, well, it was kind of eerie, honestly. He randomly started snapping. But seeing that he was on the other side of the road, I wasn't too worried about it. And I passed him, and nothing happened. So, I was somewhat relieved by this. Honestly, I felt like I can breathe normally again. And I continued walking, turned the corner to the next block, and once I got halfway down the block, I heard the snapping again. Now, that wouldn't have freaked me out as much as it did if it wasn't behind me, but it was behind me. So I turned around on my heel, expecting the worst, and that's what I saw. He was at the start of this block, staring at me with the biggest smile. I didn't even know humans or anyone can smile that big. It was ominous. And he was staring at me with the biggest eyes. It almost looked like his eyes were going to pop out or something. They were cartoonish. Honestly, it was terrifying. And then he started running towards me with big steps. So I did what any normal person would do. I turned around and ran. But he kept snapping as he was getting closer to me. And the worst part is it started to sound like he was catching up to me. At this point, the only thing running through my mind was, I'll be safe if I get home. I'll be safe if I get home. If I get home, I'm safe. But my house was a few blocks away, and judging by how fast he was catching up to me, he was gonna catch me for sure. But I kept running and running, and around halfway to my house from where I was at when he started chasing me, I stopped hearing him snap. But I didn't want to turn around to make sure he was there. I just kept running until I got to my house. As I approached my house, I pulled out my keys and found the key to my house. And as soon as I got to my door, I started unlocking it. I quickly unlocked the door and jumped inside and locked the door behind me and looked out the window to the door. I didn't see anyone, so I felt safe. At the same time, I felt relieved, and I kinda felt like I escaped with my life. Now, you might be thinking that I'm crazy for telling you this, but I still do late night strolls. But I never stay out as long as I did this time. Or maybe, if I did, I won't be as lucky to escape with my life.